Okay, so once we've created our label image, back in Blender to feed it onto the model, we take our model into edit mode, select all of our vertices, and then have a look in our UV image editor window here, this one. And if your image is, if you're using the same file name as what you originally exported out to Photoshop, you should just be able to go image and then reload image. I've just got to feed mine back in, which may be the case for you as well. So we go image, open image, grab that texture that we made. Okay, so I can see this is the label on the side of the can, and I'll just deselect for a tick. This is the top of the can. I've just used an image, a photograph of a ring pull to stick on there, which should do the job. Okay, so to see this represented on our model, we can change our viewport shading here to textured mode, and then add a couple of lights. You'll see, I can see that the texture's been applied there, but I'm not getting a lot of light shining on the scene at the moment, so I'll just select this light and change it to a sun lamp, and then I'll shift D to duplicate that, and then R to rotate, and just sit one on each side, just so we can see more clearly how this is sitting on our model. Okay, so we've got a couple of things to fix. The label's upside down. We could have probably fixed that by checking our UVs before we exported, but it's not a problem. We can quickly rotate that around now. And then the ring pull on the top is obviously too big, so we might do the ring pull first. I'll just take this object back into edit mode, and we'll have a look what's going on. Okay, so these concentric circles that we see here are actually the circles that start at this point where we marked our seam earlier. So the outermost circle is this seam, and then this one, this seam, this seam. So we can see how our underlying ring pull graphic is actually overlapping these vertices here. So two ways we could fix that at this point. One is to go back into our image editor and shrink the ring pull so it actually sits inside this innermost circle. A quicker fix though at this point is just to move these elements around so that the ring pull sits within our circles of vertices. So I'm going to hold down Alt and right click on the edge between two of our vertices of our circle. So holding down Alt, right click, and then I can hold down Shift as well to grab the others. See what's happening here? We're just selecting those rings, and then I can press S to scale and scale them up. You can see down here, as I scale up and down, I can very quickly see what it's actually doing to the model. So I'm just going to move these out. Because the edge of the can this is all grey out here, it doesn't really matter where these rings sit because they're all going to lie on that same grey colour. It's this inside section that is the most important in this case. Okay, so then I'll just grab this outer couple of rings because it's overlapping my label here, scale that down. So as I say, you could do it like this, or you could go back into Photoshop and manipulate the graphics further. This will do the job. Just grabbing my innermost ring now and bringing it in a bit so I can just shrink that down a little bit. That'll be fine for now. Okay, so ring pull on the top. Now this label being upside down, it's an easy fix. We just select one of the vertices from our bottom island and go select link. Control L is the shortcut. I find I can actually just press L instead of Control L and it works, but anyway. Okay, so we grab the island, R to rotate. We can hold down Control at this point to snap our rotation to 10-degree increments, 5-degree increments, and just rotate it around. So now we've got labels up the right way, ring pulls in the right place. If I wanted to sort of stretch or shift this label at this point, I could scale this, say along the x-axis if I want to shrink it in this direction, or the y-axis, but it's actually sitting fine, I think, so that's looking good. Okay, so we can see the texture in our 3D view, but if I was to go and render this right now, I'll just bring my camera back. You can see it's still rendering just as a grey picture. So there's a couple of ways we can attach the texture to the can at render time. I'll just show you the simple method for now, which is to select your object and then create a new material for it. This one, new material, we can give it a name, just call it soda can material, and then scroll down and tick this option here, face textures. So what that does is just use our UV image to apply those textures to the faces of the model. So I'll go ahead and render that again. We can see it being applied there. My lighting's a bit rough, my angle's not very good, but all's working. Okay, so the next step is to start putting some bones in it, and then we'll head towards some animation.